About the right length, good width.
You know, he can come in and look through the lumber all he wants.
I really like the cherry. Cuts really nicely. It's a little bit easier to work with, but I think the red coloration is just really, really beautiful.
He could be here an hour trying to find that right piece of lumber.
So when you see a piece of wood like that, it's hard not to smile.
So much of our world is digitally focused. To feel something in your hands, I think uses a different part of your brain. We kind of figured out how to carve mountains with all the ski trails on them.
We like to talk to our customers. We like to get to know the landscapes that they want to see made. We want to add that detail.
It's great to see people be so engaged and so excited about a place when you show them this bird's eye view in the palm of their hand.
It's kind of neat that, you know, you could get a 3D model of, you know, your property made from lumber from your property. You know,
from your backyard all the way to an entire mountain ridge, we can make that for you.
We're always innovating, trying new things. We're always learning.
We are planning on building a table, which we haven't done yet, but we know we can do it.
Cribbage boards, to bowls. Someone once ordered an urn for us. All these different products that you can make out of wood, folks want to see landscape because everybody has a connection to place.
So, you know, drive on up Route 7, get onto 116, take a right into A. Johnson's.
there is a mystique. That was part of what drew me here.
And we started the business coming out of school, and then we went to Massachusetts. We kept getting our lumber from A. Johnson, even though we were out of state.
Since we make the product, we have much more control over the quality.
You can see the wood being processed.
We moved our business here because of A. Johnson.
It's a little overwhelming. There's so much wood, there's so much to look through. Hundreds and hundreds of board feet stacked up in one little spot. Ash and cherry, poplar, walnut.
There is no real other place that you could buy this quantity, volume, or quality of hardwoods.
We made, I think, 200 keychains of Vermont the other day, and every single one looked different for a thing that's this big.
We have chosen a profession that blows through resources. So how can we do that in a sustainable way?
A. Johnson, it's local, it's coming from nearby.
Sustainable forestry is a huge core of the business. You have to weed your garden to get the proper vegetables to grow, and that's purely what forestry is.
We love living in Vermont. We love skiing on the weekends. So we've made this pact to continue this business as a way of keeping ourselves in a place that we love where we can enjoy ourselves.
We wanted to have a connection to place here in Vermont where we got started and a relationship with the communities that we live in, helping everyone connect to the place in a new way. Nonprofit partnerships, I think, is really one of the places I want to see us grow. One of our more recent partnerships is with the Vermont Adaptive Skiing Program to create a 3D carving of Mount Ellen, and it's for visually impaired athletes to feel the trails before going out on a day on the slopes.
We've also worked with the Middlebury Area Land Trust, developing a large model which they use with children and school kids. We all have a ton of respect for what each person is doing.
There's not a lot of other folks doing this kind of work because the map making is hard. You need a mastermind behind it, which is Jacob, our map guy.
Starts out with some data from the USGS. The United States is divided up into 1 meter sections. Bring all those metered pixels together, you end up with a big sheet of topography. When I was little, actually, me and my best friends were really into maps. It helped me to feel more connected to the place that I lived.
Meanwhile, Nathaniel's our woodworker.
But Nathaniel did woodworking with his grandfather since he was a little kid.
My grandpa always told me, no matter how good you are with your hands, someone can always make more money with their head. But I think my grandfather is a genius.
Education doesn't have to come out of the classroom. Everybody can't be an IT guy.
I'm a guy on the team who is willing to try anything.
Alex, he's the one who mainly figured out how to run the CNC machines. And his level of detail in everything is really admirable for me. For us, it's all about building community and connecting to the place. We're in Vermont, we're using wood from A. Johnson lumber.
If you like the neighborhood you're living in, you have to support it, or it won't be here, and that's as simple as it is.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Our business is really rooted in relationships and friendships and connections, taking the time to sit and talk with someone.
I'm learning a lot from A. Johnson too. Every time I go, I have to expect to spend a little more time than I maybe originally planned, because I know I'm going to be chatting with Ron for a while, chatting at the front desk. I know, it's probably the only time I write checks. Feels good to go to a place like A. Johnson that has this history and this legacy, and a lot to teach me.
We are Treeline Terrains, and we work with A. Johnson Lumber. Didn't see that one coming, did you?